Host Eric here. On my way to an important meeting. No, not really. I'm on my way to let Abraham use my speaker for a little while. The problem I have is not interesting enough to talk about. Is this it? No. My relationship with space objects as an ENTP is something that causes me endless amount of grief. Why? Well, I can't really keep track of things, and I'm constantly knocking shit over, tripping over shit. If you were to evaluate my space on the criterion of Feng Shui, you would say, Eric, your space has shitty Feng Shui. And I'd say, why? And you'd point out the fact that I've left some large object right in the middle of the walking space for some reason. Because I moved it, because I needed some other space for something. Usually it's like, oh, I'm going to film there. So I clean that space up. And then I just move everything else out of the way. Wherever I move it out of the way to is going to be a very inconvenient spot, no doubt. Because it's it's the most convenient spot to put it, because it's the closest spot to me, right? It's like, I'll move this thing. I have to move this thing. Where did it go? There. Well, that's not a very good decision-making process, right? If you were trying to organize your space thoughtfully, as I'm constantly trying to do. The problem is, in order to really do that, I mean, it's impossible, basically, because of a couple of reasons. One, to do that, I'd have to foremost take absolutely everything out of the space, the garage, primarily, and then pretty soon you'd realize, oh, well, I need to actually incorporate this other space as well to really, because I have a spare room that's just sitting there, and just built a bunch of Delilah's old crap, and should do something with it. But anyway, yeah. So the point is, if you have a lot of space objects, you have problems. And if you take them all out and then you get rid of some of them and whatever, then you can organize things in a thoughtful fashion. But if you don't do that, if you don't start from scratch, then you're guaranteed to have a poorly executed system. You know, it's guaranteed, because it's always going to be a gray water solution. You know, gray water solutions are only a good thing if there is a water shortage. If there's no water shortage, then there's no reason for any gray water solutions, right? It's a good analogy. I've made it before, because it explains very clearly why it's important to do it right in the first place, you know? We spend so much time focusing on how to address problems that exist that are symptoms, right? And it's the same thing with my problem with space objects. It's a symptom of the fact that I can never get all the way down to the bottom and start from scratch. And the other thing is, it's the fact that as new space objects come into play, you can't make a space object organizational taxonomy that's modular. It's just not possible. I mean, like the best attempt to do that is what? Like the Dewey Decimal System. Well, that's fine if you have nothing but fucking books and you've got, you know, endless bookshelf space. That's fine. But even then, you know, when you run out of space on the non-fiction shelves, you have to make a new shelf for it, right? And you might have to move the other shelves out of the way to, you know, it's annoying. So ideally you have a static number of space objects, but of course you can't have a static number of space objects because you have to buy new stuff occasionally, like, you know, food or something. A can of food. That's up 5 minutes.